Hey, true lovers. Did you ever feel like finding your soulmate takes longer than your Uber Eats driver when they're just 5 minutes away, but still in another galaxy? Like, I swear my food and my forever person are both stuck in a black hole called divine timing. Hi, I'm Haim with Be Love Media, and today we'll chat about the juncture between the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching and your love life. We're gonna go over verse 28 of the Tao Te Ching. I'm passionate about blending ancient spiritual teachings with modern heartache, laughter, and a whole lot of soul searching. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I'll share with you the ultimate affirmation to attract your ultimate soulmate. So true lovers, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel to join the Be Love Hive, where spirit meets swipe right. Those of you who know my story know that I had to take the long, difficult, painful route. I have been divorced 3 times. Yes, I am not a Hollywood Beverly Hills celebrity, and yet I've done it. 3 painful journeys in the wrong direction. Now, yes, no doubt I've learned so much from it, and I can't regret a single one, especially since the last one gifted me my 8-year-old boy, the apple of my eye. So I was left with a tremendous gift and tremendous lessons that led me to realize in the beginning of the pandemic of 2020 that whatever I was doing, whatever principles were guiding me to make my romantic decisions, to make my choices in love partners, were skewed. Something was off. Something was severely in the absolute wrong direction. It's kind of like taking a ladder and putting it on a building that you want to climb on, only to realize you was leaning on the wrong building. Yeah, you climbed. Yeah, you got married, but it was the wrong relationship with the wrong consciousness. And then beginning of the pandemic, end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I was like, I gotta find a different way. And I discovered the Tao Te Ching, which I was aware of from before, but not really understanding the magnificence of the wisdom in it. And I told myself, what if I took those 81 ancient verses of the Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu 2,600 years ago, and try to apply to my love life, to my dating chapter, to my making romantic choices that this time would be aligned with truth, to find and attract true love relationship versus everything that I had before that, which was false love relationships. They were anchored in anger and resentment and codependence and desperation to be loved and to be validated, which is never a good foundation. And sure enough, from the moment I made that decision, about 18 months later, I met my now best friend, life partner, and beloved wife, Rachel. But it wasn't until I realized I had to scrap it and start over, go back to the drawing board using this amazing tool. So let's look what does verse 28 of the Tao Te Ching, as translated by Stephen Mitchell, has to teach us. So let's ground ourselves in this sacred wisdom. And here is verse 28, open quote. Know the male, yet keep to the female. Receive the world in your arms. If you receive the world, the Tao will never leave you, and you will be like a little child. Know the white, yet keep to the black. Be a pattern for the world. If you are a pattern for the world, the Tao will be strong inside you, and there will be nothing you can't do. Know the personal, yet keep to the impersonal. Accept the world as it is. If you accept the world, The Tao will be luminous inside you, and you will return to your primal self. Close quote. So here are 3 takeaways from this verse 28. Know the male, yet keep to the female. Balance matters. When seeking a partner, look for someone who holds both strength and softness. Masculine and feminine energies aren't gendered, they're dances. A soulmate can be your protector and your nurturer, your fire and your calm. True lovers, we attract balance when we are balanced. If I may share an example, I have noticed we all know that we attract relationship based on childhood trauma many times. When that childhood trauma is left unresolved, unprocessed, when we don't do our shadow work, when we don't resolve our past trauma, process it, understand where it's coming from, and that we don't have to continue and carry it like a heavy burden into the next chapter of our life. When we don't resolve that trauma, we end up attracting people that maybe are like our parents. Now, whoever your parent is, our parents, just like any human being, have good and bad. But when the trauma is not resolved, we usually will attract the dark side, somebody who has the dark side of maybe our parent. So, for instance, in my case, one of my caregivers as a child was very toxic, loud, aggressive, and not the kind of person who would hear you, listen you, or feel your needs, but rather will discipline you in a harsh way. And sure enough, for instance, a couple of my partners actually were quite abrasive, right? So they didn't have the balance of the gentleness of the feminine, those women, along with some assertiveness. Nothing wrong with that. They had mostly the assertive part, the controlling part. Now, what that meant, as they were surely not balanced, I was not balanced either. My feminine side was more salient, was stronger than my assertive side. So balance, somebody who can balance the two, you have to become it first so you can attract someone like that. Now, fast forward quite a few years, now I'm with my beloved Rachel. Now granted, Rachel is the ultimate feminine. She is gentle, she's soft, she's kind, but not for lack of opinion. She's not, I wouldn't call it submissive. She has her opinion and she asserts them. She shares what she needs with me. We learn from the moment we met how to communicate with each other in a way that honors both sides' needs. Now she's on the softer side, as you can tell. I'm more on the blunt side, more on the direct side, especially for myself growing up in the Middle East, in Israel. That's how we communicate with each other over there. But I've learned to blunt my sharpness, as the Tao Te Ching says in another verse. And she learned quite quickly how to express herself to me so that I can honor her wishes as well. So she definitely has that balance, and hopefully I have way more balance than I used to have, which serves the relationship. Know the white, yet keep to the black. Be a pattern for the world, says verse 28. Now what does that mean? Your authenticity is magnetic. A good partner won't just love your light, they'll honor your shadow. Be your real, weird, soulful self and let go of the need to appear perfect. Real love shows up when the mask comes off and the soul shines through. What does that mean for me? When I met Rachel, I was very clear that I'm going to share exactly what I have been through and my at that time separate status. I was not yet divorced from my last relationship, and I had no intention of hiding any of it or to do as I've heard stories about other people. Oh, I'm not gonna rock the boat. She doesn't have to know that I'm this or that or divorced or have a child yet. We barely know each other. Let me wait several dates. Really what some of those people mean is let them fall in love with me first so they won't leave me once they find out the truth about me. I had no intention of doing that. I was sharing myself as is. And after we got together, I asked her, how come it didn't bother you to date somebody who's been 3 times married, about to be divorced for the 3rd time, with a child with special needs, by the way? Didn't that bother you? Didn't it scare you? Why didn't you run for the hills when you heard my full story? And she said, it didn't even occur to me to focus on that. It didn't even occur to her to focus on that. She was enjoying the authentic sharing that I was doing my best to come up with, and how well connected we were, the brilliant conversations about life and spirituality and love and family, something she hasn't found in previous interactions with other guys. So for her, it didn't even occur to focus on my shortcomings, when somebody else definitely might. So me showing up as authentic, her showing up as authentic, worked out for us to feel connected. Number 3, know the personal, yet keep to the impersonal. Accept the world as it is, close quote. Acceptance is love. The right partner won't try to fix you, and you shouldn't try to fix them. Love flows from accepting yourself, then extending that grace to others. When you stop chasing perfection and start embracing presence, love lands softly. So this is a common thing in most relationships that I've come across. The mistake of the notion of trying to fix the other person, the perceiving of another person, another date, another potential candidate as a potential partner, as a potential. Meaning, I can see the potential in them, I'll work on them, eventually they're going to become the kind of partner I want them to be. Never works. Always leads to a miserable ending. Even if those people stay with each other, then it starts accumulating scars of many negative interactions, of one expressing to the other, whether in a subtle way or in a blunt way, how unpleased they are of who they are, of their shortcomings. Versus, if you don't like that person, just, break it off right from the beginning. That's fine. In hindsight, and we know that hindsight is 20/20, all my previous relationships, I would not have continued them beyond the first few months. I wouldn't. The red flags were there. Every single one of them. And that's a story for another video. And you know what? I have spoken to countless people with their own painful stories. And when they shared about a relationship that fell apart, I always ask the same question. In hindsight, looking back, was there a red flag? Were there red flags that you could have noticed, do something about it, or at least be careful, and you haven't, and you didn't? And they always say the same thing. They pause, they think, and they say, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, yeah, there was this red flag and the other red flag. And I guess I just didn't pay attention. Think of your past relationship or a specific one that didn't work out. And think to yourself, was there a red flag? And what can I learn from this to my next potential relationship? Now, true lovers, breathe deep and repeat these 10 affirmations with me. Let's vibrate like the loving beings we already are. I am the embodiment of love. Love flows through me effortlessly. I radiate compassion and kindness. I trust love to find me at the perfect time. I am whole and worthy of deep connection. My heart is open and my soul is ready. I attract partners who see and celebrate my essence. I am aligned with the vibration of true love. I give and receive love freely and joyfully. I am love. All right, true lovers, if you got some soul giggles or your heart sparkled from this video, don't be stingy with the love. Like, comment, share this with that friend who's been dating their birth chart lately. And of course, subscribe so we can keep pollinating the internet with Be Love. And remember, your soulmate is not lost, they're just in divine traffic. Be love, stay weird, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste and nachos.